Hello, my name is Veronica and welcome into the Learning Lab. And in today's lab, I'd like to share with you this wonderful cartridge that I won on Amiga's giveaway. Come on in and let's get started. So I entered into a giveaway on Amiga's YouTube channel, and I'll just put a link to her channel in the description bar. And she was giving away 2 cartridges and 2 Anna Griffin embossing folders. And I was lucky enough to win by leaving a comment and being a subscriber. And she sent to me this awesome Cricut cartridge by Anna Griffin, and it's the Sophisticated Soirees card. Now, I have to tell you, it took me a minute to jump off into it because school started back for me, and I've been carting my son to and from football practice. But I did dive in and started making some cuts, and I want to share with you this one that I did from page 29. And I cut this at 3 inches. So for a lot of you, I'm sorry, no I did not. I cut this from 4 inches. I wrote it on the back so I wouldn't forget. And what happens when you initially cut it out is that you get, this is the finished product. You'll get a piece that will cut out like this, and then you get these 2 pieces that cut out on the inside. Were I to do it again, I'd use my Gypsy, or I would use the Cricut Craft Room and not cut this piece, because that's just a liner piece and I can cut that myself and conserve paper better that way. But to show you what I'm talking about, this is what cuts out. Then you get this liner that you'll put behind, and then you get this one. And I guess it's okay if that's the look you want, but that wasn't the look I wanted on the inside. I'd rather just cut down a piece of white paper to go in here, but I would cut a different color backing to go behind. And for people who like to make just little small cards, this would be really cute. So another image that I cut was on page 41, and it was this one. I just thought, wow, this has got to be the most darling image I have ever seen. So I went about cutting it. Let me bring that one in. When I cut this out, it came out to look like this. And you would score it here, and you would score it here too. Now, this one, I did not score it initially. What I did was I took it and folded to where it looked like it should land, and then I took it back to here and did my score. So once I had that done, I did not cut any more of the pieces for this particular card. So I did not cut any more of the card. You could have cut these 2 pieces, which mat to go in here. I decided to cut those 2 pieces on my own. And I went to some of my poster board jot paper, and they had this beautiful psychedelic. Now in hindsight, I wish I would have bought every packet of this that they have, because I love it now. I cut this at 4 1/2. So I took this down by 1/8 of an inch, just so it would be in there with a very fine border. And then this piece would just tuck underneath, and I could glue that into place. Then I wanted a border to go around the back, because I wanted this to eventually come up to a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card. So this is where I brought this piece in, and so I took it up another 1/4 of an inch. So the outside one is now 4 3/4 all the way around. So then I brought in my paper for my card, and that gave me a nice mat all the way around my card. That's when I went to look for some embellishments to put on there. Now initially I went to some flowers that I had from Heartfelt Creations. You've seen these before. I think I had them on my Easter card. And I was going to do a cluster of flowers. And then I thought, they're not orange enough. Again, I'm just playing, and I would have to really go in and pop those to make them work, or glitterati them, and I didn't want to do that. So I went over to my flower box that I usually keep, and I saw some of these little paper ones that I had made using the Martha Stewart paper clay. So I just grabbed up some and put them on my card. So I would make a cluster in the corner, and then I had this fern that I had done. I thought, well, I can do something with that. Let's see. Here, looks good. And then here, because I didn't want to totally close up the beautiful cutting. And this, I believe, is from a Fiskars stamp. So I stamped that, and I thought, well, I can cluster my flowers around that. And it's pretty without being too much. And it just gives a really nice look to the card. And when you get everything in place, you've got this beautiful hologram that's on there. Okay, so now let me get to why I really came to this cartridge. I was online looking for something to do with making pillow boxes. And it popped up that there was a pillow box on the Anna Griffin cartridge. There it is right there. Now, before I get to the one I did with Anna Griffin, let me get to the one that I did using the We Are Memory Keepers pillow box. So this paper I used came from Die Cuts with a View. I think it was called Coffee Time or something like that. Beautiful paper, has lovely glitterati on it. Only thing is, I made a mistake when doing it. I should have turned my paper the other way so that when I made that initial cut, it was along this edge, because the really pretty part of the box, the shiny part, ended up being on the bottom. And that happened for both of my boxes. This one had a little more of the shiny showing, but the thing was, I didn't want my boxes to be that long. I wanted them to be a little fatter and a little chunkier. And that's when I found the cut on the Anna Griffin cartridge. So what did I do? I went in and made cute little pillow boxes. Now this is one of my Martha Stewart punches. I think it's the vines that I punched out, and I'm again just playing. This punch came from it is the Alpine one, and it's that one. And this little Velcro is on here because the rack where I store my punches, some of them were sliding off, so I put a little Velcro on there, and that actually helps to hold them in place. And when I'm punching, this actually is a little easier on my hands, so something to think about. But that's what I did. And now this glitter paper is from Die Cuts with a View. What I did with this is I did go ahead and stuff it, and y'all, I didn't have any candy because this chick needs to lose some weight. So I wanted to have something to put in there, so I had some Luden's cough drops. And what I did was I enclosed them in this little cello bag. But this bag is one of those that you can get from Michael's. And they are the pour and mold candy bags like these. So I had this one, and then they also have the pretzel bags, which are longer. So if you're using the We Are Memory Keepers one, you want to make a really long one. This will hold all of your goodies. But I'm just thinking, if I'm pouring something edible in there, I do want a bag that's food safe. So, you know, you can put a twist tie, or you can kind of tie it together, but they just drop wonderfully right down into your bag. Great. Okay, so that was actually cut number 10. So now I was cutting these on my Cricut Mini, and I cut this down to 6x8 because I cut my pillow box at 4 inches. And so this is what it looks like when you take it off of your mat. On here though are the marks that you need for scoring your pillow box. So what I did for mine, I'll see if I can come in for you and really come in close enough so that you can see. I just took my stylus and I made marks where I was going to need to score. So here and here, coming across here, here, over here, and over here. Now these two are the ones that go straight down the middle. Then here's the curve going back around the other way to here and to here. Same thing, curve here, here, and this is the score going down the side. Now here's where I pulled in my We Are Memory Keepers score. And so over on the side, I just put this in where I could line it up. And if you have the small scoring board, that works too. I just didn't want anything big. And then I lined up those two score marks, took this, and then I just connected them. There it is right there. Now, I did not score the middle one because I wanted to see where it would actually fold over on its own. So for these that make the little arc, I did it freehand. I did it on top of a mat, and actually I was sitting in front of the TV doing it. So I was doing it on one of my little cut pieces of high swap mat because I think I have 2 or 3 of them. So I started up here in the corner. Let's see if we can get this in here. And I just went around, went through that mark, brought it up to the other side. And then I just made it a little heavier. And when I flip this over, you can see the mark. I hope you can anyway. On there. There it is. So I continued to do that on all of them just by connecting. I continued to do that on all of them just by connecting through those little marks that I made. Now I made those marks because the light that I was working under wasn't the brightest of lights. Here in my craft room I have like 10 lights going, so I can see these very easily. I probably wouldn't have to mark them. But if you don't want to put on your bifocals if you wear them, or your glasses, or you have to take your glasses off to see, then you just might want to make the marks. And there they all are. And now for this, it's just a matter of folding that. And you can use your thumb to burnish it. As I tell my students, it's the best one yet. And it goes with you everywhere. Now, the next thing is to take this, pull it over to the side, see where that lines up, and it should be on those 2 little points that you made. And I wouldn't press this down too hard, but give it just a little gentle press. Now I used liquid glue when I glued mine together because I knew my liquid glue was really going to hold. And yes, it is my Scotch Quick Dry. And I went ahead on there and spread that out. Brought this up, matched to my edges. Oh, you know what? Stop. I didn't do that just yet. I went ahead and pressed these all in. That's what I would recommend that you do before you glue those down. And then I just straighten them back out. And because I did so many of these, I just did them step by step. And once I had all the steps completed on all of them, then I moved over to the next one. So the only thing you would have to do is hold that and give it a chance to stick on itself. Because it is the quick dry, it really does not take long. Now you've got your wonderful box. Here you are, and you're going to take the end that has the little finger pull tab. That goes in first. This one goes on top. Flip around to the other end, push that in, push that on top, and there's your box. If you want to press this down a little, just go in with your bone folder and just scrape your edges. And that is what I did to make my pillow box that was a little bigger than this little pillow box. So let me show you all the pillow boxes that I've created to date. I put them in a trash bag, but here they are. these are all the pillow boxes that I made. Now, in here, are some of the punches that I was cutting out that will get wrapped around these boxes. But, oh, and this one, I had these on the floor next to me, and I had to go and get something. And some of them sort of kind of bit the dust, but I'll see if I can save them. So this is a sampling of all of the pillow boxes that I have been creating. I have some more that have been cut, lots of them that I still need to finish scoring and folding so I can add to my stash. Keep it going. And these are some stickers that I got from Target at the end of the year last year, and I think I can peel these off, put those on a white piece, and then when I wrap these, put that on top, and I'll have something cute from the North Pole for whoever buys these for their recipient at my craft fair. I think they're cute. I love, love, love these. I will probably go back and make some more of the We Are Memory Keepers ones, but just looking at the size of the box, I do like this chunkier size. So anyway, there are a few options for you. As always, thank you for joining me in the lab. Please be sure to check out my blog at inkallusions.blogspot.com. Until then.